In 2007, when we published The Authentic Enterprise, we saw three major trends coming: globalization, the digital networking revolution, which we now call social media, and the empowerment of new kinds of stakeholders. And there are a whole new set of trends that are derivative of those trends that continue to influence the environment. It's totally changed the way the media work, and that's changed the way we create content, the way we interact with the media, the way people get information and share information. Technology is truly changing the way businesses operate, disruptive business models, the globalization, the rise of China and other parts of the world. Different kinds of value systems are coming into play. How do you understand all that? So these new trends continue to challenge us, continue to challenge business, and continue to challenge the way the CCO has to think about helping the business evolve its way of building and protecting brand and reputation.
In a world of 24-hour news cycles, where you used to go out and pick up the newspaper on your driveway, which seems like 100 years ago now it's a world of immediacy, and our expectations as consumers through digital touch points is one of, I expect the web experience or the app experience to be personalized. I expect you to know me. I expect you to remember every interaction I've had with you in the past. And I expect that experience to be improved all the time. Think about what has to happen inside of companies behind that digital experience. It means that our teams and our organizations have to be constantly monitoring those interactions, making them better, improving them based on our actual knowledge captured through data of what you're doing, what you're looking for, what you're expecting.
If you look at what we do, it's not about communication anymore purely. It's about a whole range of things. It's about engagement. It's about engagement across a much wider range of stakeholders. It's about engagement across a much wider and more significant range of issues. And it's about understanding the tools that we have to address those. And I'm thinking there particularly about social media, the whole digital space that we're using now, not only to communicate, but also to plan and to monitor some of those issues that we're dealing with.
People, all of us, are throwing off digital signals every time we initiate a search, when we blog or tweet. We're giving all of those signals away. And we're going to be adept in the future, increasingly, at understanding what all of these digital signals mean and using that information to be more effective in engaging people as individuals.
So there's a huge amount of data available, but to be able to understand it and to be able to synthesize it and to make it actionable, that's a skill that we don't traditionally have in the CCO role, and it's one that we are rapidly learning, and we have to learn if we're going to continue to be strong advisors.
We are the function and we are the individuals who spend most of our time engaging with the outside world. So bringing that in to advise not just our bosses. Everyone talks about the link between the CEO and the CCO, which is undoubtedly important. But actually, the advice piece across the C-suite to our colleagues is also increasingly important as a component of that leadership.
We're seeing more and more departments not being defined by these rigid walls, but by dynamic, fluid teams coming together, made up of HR people or technologists from CIO or marketing, and working on projects. We're putting teams together, and we're not paying as much attention to the boundaries and the rigid walls between organizations. This is very new. I think this is going to be the way we operate in the future. Agile, fluid, and multidisciplinary. It's the way we're just going to be.
I think we are acting much, much less in isolation. And sometimes that integration is now reflected in organizational design, so a broadening of the role of the CCO and having a much wider remit. And sometimes it's reflected in much greater cooperation and collaboration, different, better ways of working in order to achieve that integration across C-suite.
This is a revolution of culture, of processes, of clock speed, and of mindset. And it's not about changing an org chart, it's about changing the cultures of the teams we lead.